All right, let's get right into it. The world of software is going through a massive shakeup, and Google has just dropped a tool that honestly feels like it's from 5 years in the future. It's called Antigravity, and it promises to do something pretty incredible. Turn a simple idea, just a few sentences of text, into a real working application in minutes. Right now, there's a huge AI arms race happening. Companies are pouring money into coding assistants, with tools like Cursor and Lovable costing thousands of rupees every single month. And what does Google do? They step into the ring with what might be the most powerful tool yet, and they make it completely free. This isn't just an update, it's a total market disruption. Now, this quote, this is what it's really all about. This isn't just for your developers. This is for your marketing team, your sales folks, your product managers, the people who are closest to the business problems. Imagine them being able to build the exact tool they need right now without getting in a long line for the IT department. Someone with zero coding experience just created thousands of dollars of value. That's a game changer. So, what can this thing actually build? Talk is cheap, right? Let's look at 3 very different examples. We're going to go from a simple business tool all the way to something complex and interactive just to see how far we can push it. Okay, first up, a classic business pain point. Any freelancer, or really anyone who has to send invoices, knows how tedious it is. It's boring, it takes time, and it's so easy to make a mistake. So the first challenge was simple. Can you build a tool that takes a bunch of messy notes and automatically creates a polished professional PDF invoice? So you write the prompt, and it spits out a plan. But step 3, this is where the magic happens. The AI doesn't just blindly write code. At one point, it actually hit a roadblock, a technical problem. But instead of just failing, it stopped, thought about it, found a different way to solve the problem, and kept going. It behaves less like a machine and more like a seasoned developer. All right, an internal tool is one thing. That's cool. But what about something that your customers will actually see? Something that needs to look amazing. For the next test, the goal was to build a high-end portfolio website. You know, the kind a creative agency would charge you $5,000 or more to build. You just describe what you want. Fancy animations, a dark mode, all the bells and whistles. And then you just watch as it builds it, line by line, in real time. And the end result isn't some generic template. It's a custom, beautiful, agency-quality website that makes a brand look instantly more valuable. And this is where we really push the limits. This is where it gets a little wild. Can a simple text prompt create something that's actually interactive and fun? Could it build a playable video game from scratch with no game engine, no specialized skills needed? The results here are just incredible. First, a text adventure game, perfect for making something like employee training way more engaging. Then a match 3 puzzle, basically like Candy Crush, built in less than 2 minutes. And get this, it even built a simple arcade racing game, complete with logic for collision detection. It proves this thing can handle complex logic and user interaction, not just static websites. So, at this point, you're probably asking, how on earth does this actually work? Well, it's not actually magic. It's a really smart, well-designed system that brings 3 key pieces together in one single workspace. Okay, think of it like this. You have the agent manager, which is basically your command center. It's where you hand out assignments to your AI workers and see what they're all up to. Then you have the editor. This is where a human can step in, look at the code, and make tweaks if needed. And finally, you have the browser, where the AI can actually run the app and test its own work to make sure it's doing it right. It's the full development cycle, all in one place. Now, the philosophy behind all of this is what Google is calling agent-assisted development. And this is absolutely crucial. This is not a black box where you just cross your fingers and hope for the best. The AI handles all the grunt work, but it's designed to pause and ask a human for help when it faces a really complex decision. It's not just a tool, it's a collaborator. And for any leader who has to manage projects or worry about risk, this is probably the most important part. The system gives you total control through something called artifacts. Before it writes a single line of code, you get an implementation plan. Think of it as a blueprint you have to approve. While it's working, you see a real-time task list, like a Trello board. And when it's done, you get a full walkthrough report with screenshots proving the job is done right. It's enterprise-level project management, baked right in. So let's bring it all home. What does this actually mean for your business? This is way more than just another productivity tool. This is a fundamental change to how work gets done, and it can be a massive competitive advantage. The biggest change is this idea of parallel development. Right now, a person can really only do one complex task at a time. But with this, one person can act like a manager, telling one AI agent to go research a competitor's API, while another AI is designing a new logo, and a third is building a database. You're no longer single-threaded. You can multiply your team's output overnight. I mean, just look at this table. The contrast between the old way and the new way is just night and day. Every single manual, slow step, the research, the coding, the testing, is now automated. This doesn't just make things faster, it changes the very nature of your team's job. They go from being laborers to being architects, supervising a team of AI workers. So let's just boil it down to the 4 key strategic wins. 1. Zero cost. You get to cut those expensive software bills. 2. Radical speed. What used to take weeks now takes minutes. 3. Parallel work. You get way more done without hiring more people. And 4, and this might be the biggest one of all, you empower everyone on your team to be a builder. And that brings us to the final and most important question. The wall between having a great idea and having a working application has just been completely torn down. So when anyone in your organization has the power to build whatever they can imagine, what will you create first?